Walls with the ball, half forward right. He'll look for Jesaulenko. Here's the lead. Jesaulenko comes to it. The chipping in is Gallagher to take the mark. He could see that Jesaulenko couldn't make pace to it, and he chipped in nicely to take it straight in front and about 40 yards out. Gallagher, very quiet in the early part of the game, has come right into his own. He's been probably the best rover on the ground. Lines up the goal. There's the kick on its way. It looks all right to me. It is. It's through. Yet another goal to the Blues. And that's Gallagher's first for the match. There's Adrian Gallagher making his way back to the centre. Carlton 18-8 on the board. Oh, well, that's tremendous kicking. 18 goals from 26 scoring shots. Essendon 10-13, 73.
20 goals, 7 last week, Ken, and yet it was a losing score. But at least they have proved that was no fluke, and their accuracy certainly is worthy of note this afternoon.
Their recovery, Tony, is amazing, isn't it? After that first quarter and a half, you know, they looked a beaten side, didn't they? But they've rallied splendidly, Carlton, and they look a premiership side at the moment. Back on the centre, there's Mackenzie getting the tap. He's been fairly quiet. Comes to Pennell of Carlton. Pennell onto his boot, gets it out to Jackson. Jackson swings onto the right boot. He's got a good turn, this fellow. Sends the ball forward onto the right half-forward line. There's a chance for Hopkins. Hopkins has got it here. Drives it forward. Chance for the Dons to mark it through Barkley, and he makes no mistake. That was the steadying mark. He's got a lead from Blethen. He's going to ignore it and send the ball straight up to Collins, who is way down from the attack. Just what he's doing down there, Tony, I wouldn't have a clue.
No, he's roaming.
There's his kick towards centre half forward, looking here for Mackenzie. Mackenzie couldn't quite mark the ball. Oh, he's held there, kicks it along the ground. Pack developing here with Crane emerging with the ball. He's clever elusive, this fellow. Sends it forward, up to centre half forward. Plenty of Dons players there. Too many of them flying for the ball together. There's the ball on the ground with Collins right in the thick of it. The whistle goes, umpire Crouch says my ball, and he'll bounce it. Centre half forward with Carlton in the attack. 18-8 they are to the Dons 10-13.
Nichols and Stevenson to do battle, and the tap down going the direction of Mackenzie. Barkley and they're battling hard for Essendon, trying to emerge with the ball. He's pushed over, held but not in possession, and the free kick will go to Barkley. Short pass by Barkley out wide towards the centre wing and taken by Greenwood. Greenwood centre wing, a skimming pass in the direction of Blethen, but a little bit too low, and taken by Lofts, and Lofts boots towards the half forward line for Carlton. A good mark taken by Adrian Gallagher. Good to see him back for Gallagher now. Downfield towards half forward for Carlton, but the pass ill-directed. Walls was waiting there behind Williams, but Gallagher's kick dropped short, and Williams had no trouble in taking the mark. John Williams from Essendon now sends it out wide, back to Greenwood, and Greenwood unattended once more, marks half-back flank and sends another low pass, too low again, but taken by Ian Payne. Payne in the centre of the ground, boots towards half forward, just over the head of Ellis there of Essendon. He recovers well. Egan in there to assist him. Half forward line Ellis sends a short one in towards the forward pocket. Barry Gill, the man in front, he runs into a heap of trouble, and there is battling hard Gary Crane, picks up the ball, then he's in trouble, but gets booked the ball. Good football, Gary Crane, but the opportunity now for Essendon through Pryor. Pryor couldn't pick up the ball. He's still after it. Hot pursuit towards the centre of the ground. Gosper in there to lend a hand. It's the handball out in the direction of Collins, but umpire Crouch has blown the whistle, and the free kick is going Essendon's way to Jeff Gosper. Gosper right in the centre of the ground for the Dons. They trail by 43 points, 116 to Carlton, 73 to Essendon. Short pass by Gosper out wide to the half-forward flank, looking there for Ellis. He recovers well, gets the handball to Egan. Egan against Silvani, and now against Hall, and gets the handball across to Mackenzie. Don Mackenzie in trouble, caught high by Pennell. Play goes on as Mackenzie lines up the goals and boots right in towards the goal square. A big pack of players there off the hands of the pack taken by Lofts, and Lofts boots out to half-back flank. Blethen getting in front position, Quirk from behind. No mark to either player. Quirk recovers well, down he goes. On top of Quirk is Greenwood. The free kick going to Brian Quirk on the half-back flank. Brian Quirk sees the short pass out towards Kerr, but it's misdirected over his head, but gives him the run of the ball on the centre wing. Coming in to assist him, Gallagher. Gallagher close to the boundary line, almost has his head pulled off, and he'll take the free kick. Adrian Gallagher, centre wing, or almost on the half-back flank on the grandstand side of the ground. Punt kick by Gallagher towards the half-forward line now, looking for Captain Nichols, also Croswell. Croswell couldn't quite hold the ball, recovers well. Good football, Brent Croswell. Look at the pace of Croswell, running in towards centre half-forward and screws it back to Jesaulenko. Jesaulenko chipping in. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's about 55, 60 yards out, almost directly in front, and a chance for goal number 9.
One would have thought that Fletcher had the pace to stop Jesaulenko, but he hasn't been able to curb that brilliant pace.
Jesaulenko shoots for goal. It's very close. Just offline, minor point to Carlton. They move to 18-9, 117. Essendon 10-13, 73, and we've been playing in the final quarter for 10 minutes.
Essendon's, Carlton's second quarter recovery was due largely to Jesaulenko. He was the player at full forward that sparked them right off. He got 4 goals in the second quarter, the latter half of it. Here's the kick in by Fletcher, coming out where Quirk very nearly took the mark, but the free is going Croswell's way, pushed in the back. Gallagher's all on his own. He can pass the ball to him, but ignores the opportunity. There's the kick looking for Jesaulenko. Jesaulenko getting in front. The ball goes over his head, knocked away by Fletcher. Little Hopkins comes to the ball for Carlton. The boundary line too close, and it'll be a throw-in. About 5 yards around from the right-hand behind post. There's big John Nichols. He's played well in the second half of the game. Stevenson had the better of him. Nichols gets the tap. It comes down to Davis, though. He's the biggest kick getter on the ground. Finds Greenwood with a pass. Greenwood back to Davis, coming downfield. Davis's kick, lands in the arms of Collins, who had to dive for it. Very lucky one.
Yes.
Collins with the ball now. He's going to go straight down the ground with his kick as he eludes Pennell. There it is. Bring the ball forward, but it's all Carlton. The defence, and Hall takes the mark. Hall with the ball. Got a little nudge there too after taking it. Comes straight down the ground with the kick. It's a good one to centre half forward. Mackenzie goes for it one-handed. Collins is there to pick it up, whips a hand pass forward, and away go Essendon. Get the ball out to Ellis. Ellis marking almost centre half forward. The 15-yard penalty will be paid against Hall. That tackle after Ellis had taken the mark was observed very closely by umpire Crouch. He was right on the scene, and he said, righto, fella, you can't do that, and I'll pay a 15-yard penalty. And this puts Ellis within kicking range. There's the shot on its way. It's good, too. It's right through the middle. A somewhat belated goal to the Dogs.
Yes, Ellis has been rather quiet. He's been moved out of the centre onto the half-forward flank. He and Robertson doing very well in the middle, and Ellis not yet up to his best form, although certainly that kick was a good one.
At the 11-minute mark, or 12-minute mark, about the 12-minute mark of the final quarter.
Umpire Crouch in the centre of the ground. Jones in ruck now for Carlton. Mackenzie for Essendon. Jones gets the tap down, taken by Williams, though. His kick smothered, but John Williams will take the free kick. The tackle too high around the shoulder. 117 to 79. Williams, centre wing, to boot towards the half-forward line for Essendon. A long kick, too, almost towards the pocket. Greenwood from behind, couldn't hold it. Gary Crane there for Carlton, half-back flank. Goes for a good run of 10 yards, and then boots out wide towards the opposite centre wing on the grandstand side of the ground to find Brian Quirk. Quirk onto his left boot, screwing it back, looking for Walls, and the ball will bounce in open territory. Walls takes the ball, though, half-forward line. Handballs back towards Croswell. Croswell back to Quirk's good football. Brian Quirk streaming downfield now, not a play within 10 yards. He lines up the goals and shoots for goal. And that's a great goal to Carlton. Great goal to Brian Quirk. 19th goal to Carlton, 19-9, 123. Essendon 11-13, 79.
Well, it's hard to imagine this was the same side as we saw in the first quarter. No question about it. They looked like a Manangatang thirds, is it, Ken, they usually call?
This is true.
But now they're really playing premiership brand football, really going on with the job.
It's been copybook stuff, really, isn't it? I mean, they blended their play so well. They started to assert themselves and muscle Essendon a little bit, and from that point on, they've taken over, haven't they? They've played grand football since midway through the second quarter. There's Big Jones. He's played a great game all day, coming high, getting the tap, and Silvani knocks the ball further afield. Comes out here. It's gathered in by Stevenson. His kick is rather short. This will allow Carlton's Pennell to come through. He suckers the ball off the ground, but Williams is there to trap it for Essendon. Gets a lead from Greenwood, but the pass is well wide of him, and the ball will be thrown in about halfway between the half-forward line and the full forward position. Here's the ball not clear by Stevenson. Out it comes, picked up by Ellis. Ellis down towards the full forward line, where poor old Jeff Pryor's had a lot to do today. They've swung him from one end of the ground to the other, haven't they? Put a lot of pressure on him. Pryor now taking a turn on the ball, but Jones is a bit tall for him. It comes down to Gill. Gill couldn't pick it up. Backed up by Hopkins. The ball comes out to Collins. He couldn't hold it. There's the elusive Gallagher. Gets the ball nicely to Quirk, all on his own. Quirk, what'll he do? He decides to drive it up to Jesaulenko. Here he is setting himself for the mark. Coming from behind, Fletcher knocks the ball high, makes a second grab, and has allowed the mark. I think that's a pretty good decision. I thought he might have got above Jesaulenko to hit it up, but it was a photo finish. Anyhow, the kick is with him, and he passes it to Williams. Williams is interfered with by Walls and will take the free kick. He's got a lead here from Ian Payne, and Payne marks the ball right in the centre. Payne taking his time. He's got a lead and turn from Gosper. Gosper all on his own, decides to steady. A lot of the flow has gone out of Essendon's game since the first quarter. There's the kick high in the air. Gill punches it away. Gallagher moving to it with Crane. Crane, the greater speed, is tackled, loses the ball, and it's picked up by Collins of Essendon. Collins passes the ball to Pryor. Pryor couldn't trap it, and it comes off his hands and out of play. We're about 16 minutes into the final quarter, and the Blues are well on top.
Boundary throw in, half-forward line now for Essendon. Jones from behind doing battle with Pryor. Pryor gets a second chance to Davis. Davis lines up the goal. Left foot snap is out of bounds. Pushed. Well, he was pushed in the back. Free kick to Barry Davis. Davis is right on the boundary line, about 30 yards out from goal. The difference is 44 points, and this is Barry Davis's 29th kick. Big chance for the Brownlow medal, and today's game would have given him an even greater chance. 29 kicks for Barry Davis, right on the boundary line. Chance for a belated score for the Dons. Punt kick by Davis is pretty close. It's right across the face of goals and out of bounds in the full, and the free kick to Carlton to be taken by Kerr. The Dons led by 44 points at one stage in the second quarter, and amazing how the fluctuations of football can change, because Carlton lead by that exact margin at this stage. Out towards half-back flank, Jones up high, gives the opportunity though for Ian Payne of Essendon. His kick about 15 yards downfield to Payne, who falls on top of the ball. Players converge on Payne. He's still there battling for the ball with Pennell, and umpire Crouch will call for a bounce. Half-forward line for Essendon. 17 minutes have elapsed. Last quarter. Jones doing battle with Mackenzie. Tap down goes in the direction of Gallagher. Close to the boundary line. Over it goes. Boundary throw midway between half-forward flank and forward pocket. Don's attacking zone. Jones do battle with Mackenzie again. A long throw on that occasion. Mackenzie gets the tap down, a push in the back to boot, and Don Mackenzie will take the free kick about 45 yards out, 45-degree angle. 19-9 Carlton. 123. 11-13, 79 to Essendon. Mackenzie. Drop kick for goal. There's a beautiful shot by Mackenzie straight through the centre. 12th goal for the Dons. 12-13, 85. And Carlton 19-9, 123, 38 points the difference.
Well, what a good kick by Mackenzie. No trouble at all. Lovely drop kick. Never looked like missing.
May have said to himself, well, this could be my last shot at goal for the season.
That's right. Let's make it a good one.
Back in the centre, and Nichols doing battle for Carlton with Mackenzie. Down it goes towards Egan. Egan in trouble. Tackled by the biggest man in the field, Nichols, but back it goes to Collins. Collins running through a heap of players, run about 15 yards, gets the handball to Sproul. Sproul lines up the goals and boots right into the goal square. Lofts in front and holds the mark. Wesley Lofts appealing for the mark, and he'll be paid the mark. It's his 4th mark for the day, and kick number 11 coming up for Wesley Lofts. Right in the goal square.
He's looked more comfortable in that position since early in the game. I don't think he's a back pocket player, though.
No,
he's essentially
not
a fullback.
Not at all.
He's shown good form too since half-time.
Since half-time, Kenny's played very well indeed. I doubt the move of Lofts and Waite. I'm yet to be convinced that Waite can play at fullback anyway.
Lofts has been gradually finding touch throughout this game. Now Lofts right in the goal square, boots out to centre half-back. Up they go, no mark, the ball on the ground. Battling hard is Kevin Hall of Carlton, also Stevenson of Essendon. He'll get the free kick for being held out. Stevenson, half-forward line, sees the short pass in towards Robin. Close, but Pennell chips in front of Close and holds a good mark. Pennell, given the added responsibility today of playing at centre half-back in place of the injured Gould, has acquitted himself very well. And he boots right in towards the centre of the ground. A big thump by Williams of Essendon down in the direction of Davison, but Nichols is there for Carlton. Handballs out to Barry Gill. Gill half-back flank, boots towards centre wing, just over the head of Jeff Gosper. Williams there again for Essendon. Walls about 4 or 5 yards behind him, and Williams boots in the direction of Gerlach and Gallagher. Ian Payne there for Essendon. Handballs out towards Greenwood. Greenwood centre wing, boots towards the half-forward line for the Dons. Robin Close. Close about 45 yards out. 2 goals to date for Robin Close. Chance for goal number 3. 45 to 50 yards out, almost directly in front, slightest of angles. Close punt kick by that player, holding up a little bit, will land in the goal square. Up they go, almost the mark to Pryor. Play goes on, a big pack of players on top of the ball, right in the goal square. And umpire Crouch has picked out a free kick, and it's going Essendon's way to Jeff Pryor.
Well, I don't know, there were 30 players there. I suppose umpire Crouch is in the right spot to see.
Well, Jeff Pryor, I think, Tony, was on the bottom of that pack, and I'd say there were hands everywhere in that pack, but Pryor has the benefit of the doubt, and it won't make much difference to the composition or the positions of the final 4 as Pryor boots it through, and that's goal number 13 to Essendon. 13-13, 91, 19-9, 123 to Carlton.
Yes, although Essendon have come back with a couple of goals, there certainly looks to be no chance that they can overhaul Carlton. The Blues really have got this one sewn up, and with the week's rest next Saturday, should go into the finals very, very confident indeed, apart from this little worry down in the defence. Pennell's done quite okay, but certainly Lofts and Waite have got to be sorted out there, and I don't think Peter Kerr could probably hold that half-back flank down either.
Umpire Crouch. There's Nichols going high, getting the tap. It comes clear. Chance here for Quirk. He was held, not in possession. Play goes on. Ian Payne picks up the ball, whips it to Gosper. Gosper passes the ball to Egan. Egan's got a show here to put it up towards Sproul. Sproul is coming out on the flank, flying for the ball and takes them out. On a pretty acute angle. He's deep in the left forward pocket and has a difficult shot, but he's got a lead from Davis here. And Davis just props in front of Silvani to take the mark. What a great player this fellow's been over the years for Essendon, and he's a strong contender for the Brownlow medal, coming in for his 30th kick of the day. Straight in front, lines it up, it's on its way, and it looks good. It is good. A lovely goal kicked by Davis, and that's his second. And as I said a moment ago, he's been a magnificent player for the Dons right through the year, in fact, over the years.
Just shows how good he is, Ken, that he can take on a new position, a relatively new position this season, on the ball, and he's done it so very, very well indeed. As you mentioned today, 30 kicks up to date, 10 marks, 2 goals. Not a bad contribution to Essendon's tally.
Well, the Dons are coming back in the closing stages of this game, but I'm afraid they've left their run too late. 14-13, 19-9 is the score.
26 points to difference, and there's the bounce in the centre again, taken by Jackson. The Blues into attack towards the half-forward line, running with the flight of the ball is Adrian Gallagher. Jesselenko there for Carlton, coming out to meet it, screws it back onto his right boot in towards the full forward line, bouncing close to the boundary line. Jones in there battling with Don McKenzie. McKenzie too much pace for Jones. It's a battle between the two big fellows. A stalk in between McKenzie and Jones, and Don McKenzie one out and boots towards the centre wing, but Carlton will come back into attack again through Nichols towards the forward pocket. Opportunity now for Jones to come back right in the forward pocket on the boundary line, tackled, and down he goes, loses the ball. That's out of bounds. Now a free kick going to Peter Jones.
Interesting sidelight, if we could diverge for a moment, Peters, to just say that Geelong have been beaten by Fitzroy, so whatever happens today, it's not going to make any difference to the composition of the four.
Would you believe it?
Well, the ball from Jones has gone across to Jesselenko, and he has the chance to boot goal number 8. Jesselenko about 55 yards out, 45-degree angle, and Carlton leading by 26 points. Jesselenko, punt kick by that player, will go across the face of goals in towards the forward pocket. Up they go, back to Croswell of Carlton. Croswell only about 10 yards out. Chance for Carlton's 20th goal.
And he can take the occasional scream of this young fellow, can't he?
He shows a touch of real brilliance, this lad.
You can see the angle for yourself. It's fairly acute, but he's a lovely drop punt, this boy. Let's watch it on its way. Oh, he's just about guided it through. He has. It was a magnificent goal. His fourth for the match, and last week he played in brilliant form, I thought. He was a little bit patchy last week, but my word, he was brilliant, and so the Blues post their 20th goal on the board. 29 now. 29 to Essendon, 14-13.
Yes, Croswell has this ability, if we can call it an ability, of flashing in and out of play. He certainly does disappear for a while, but what he does brilliantly.
Well, now that puts the Blues right on top, and we're deep into this final quarter as Gosper emerges with the ball for Essendon. Gets it forward where the mark is taken by Sproul. Yes, it is. Sproul just over centre half forward. No doubt Pryor will drop right back into the goal. You know, he's going to give a lead, and then he went back, but here's Sproul booting the ball right into the goal square. It's falling that little bit short for Pryor. Comes behind the play where Lofts moves to it a little bit slowly. I think it's over. Yeah, it's a behind to Essendon. They're 14th behind. They move on now to 14-14. 98 points to Carlton, 29, 129. Vin White, the left footer, to put the ball into play. Barassi has persisted with the situation of Lofts in the back pocket and White at full back. Pryor in the hands of the Essendon trainers. As White puts the ball into play, it's a nice kick too. Nichols flying high and takes his first mark overhead for the day, I think.
I think you're right too. He's got his hands to a couple, but hasn't hung on to them.
His second for the day. Pryor still limping rather perceptibly as Nichols has got a lead here. He's going to pass it out to Hall all on his own. Very loose there, the Essendon players, as Hall swings play up to the centre half forward position. Croswell flew high, couldn't mark the ball, dropping down as Robertson tried to trap it. Cleverly knocks the ball to Crane. Crane's going to be caught with it. Oh, the tackle was a bit high, and Crane will take the free kick. He's been a damaging player on the wing since the first quarter. Been a great little player this year.
Great for his size, isn't he?
Here's a lead from Quirk. Quirk is going to set himself for the mark. It's knocked away from him. He recovers very quickly, though. He's going to send a hand pass to Silvani. Silvani, a long kick, no doubt, looking for Jesaulenko. And Jones, Jesaulenko on front. Jones from behind, but the mark claimed by Charlie Payne and will be allowed. He's got a lead here. The ball coming out towards Barkley. Knocked away by Quirk. Barkley soccers it off the ground. Silvani smothers, but in comes Greenwood. Hand passes further afield to Collins. Collins in turn sends a lovely pass and finds Stevenson, the ruckman for Essendon. Stevenson, centre half forward. Silvani's coming off the ground, by the way, and there's the pass. A well-directed one by Stevenson and puts Greenwood in possession. Coming on the ground is Stone for Carlton. There's Greenwood with the ball. Kick on its way. Oh, it's a long one, but it's offline and through for yet another behind to the Dons. They're 15th, 14-15 now, 99 points to Carlton, 29, 129 points.
Incidentally, Ken, Essendon should be quite pleased with Stevenson's display against Nichols. I think he's acquitted himself very well for a newcomer.
He did up till half-time, but I think Nichols has taken over since. Waite again putting the ball into play. Not a bad drop, gets under it a little bit. There's Stevenson vying with Nichols for the ball. I think Stevenson will get the free kick. He does. He was pushed in the back by Nichols. And this young ruckman for Essendon will take the free about half forward left. He's had a lot of work to do. We haven't seen much of Mackenzie in the ruck. Kicked by Stevenson, looking here for Pryor. Pryor flies, and despite the efforts of Waite, takes them out. Pryor not very happy with the way Waite came in behind him. Jeff Pryor has kicked 2 goals for Essendon, opened up at full back, and now he's full forward. Lining it up from about 45 yards out, straight in front. Oh, it's a wobbly old thing, falling that little bit short. Hall punches the ball away. It comes out here to Gill. Gill ridden into the ground, will get the free kick. One wonders whether Gill will hold his place in the side, Tony.
Yes, he's had a fair game, Ken.
Yep. There's his kick, a good one, a good clearing kick out towards Mackenzie. Mackenzie claiming the mark, is allowed it by umpire Crouch. Not long to go in this final quarter. We're deep into the term. 26 minutes of play we've had with Carlton well on top, 29 to 14-15 as Mackenzie drives the ball up towards Davis. Davis couldn't quite mark it. Behind there's Ellis. Ellis tries a hand pass. It goes to Lofts. Lofts gets the ball to Hopkins. Hopkins quickly driving the ball out onto the far side of the ground where Walls comes late on the scene, but the ball is grabbed by Egan. Egan pops it in short, looking for Greenwood, who takes the mark. Greenwood between the centre and centre half forward position. He's got a lead in short here from Davis, and Davis takes the mark.
It was teamwork. Williams ducking quickly to let the ball go over his head to Barry Davis.
Davis coming in for his 31st kick for the match. Played a great game. And he's a long way out, but he could put it through. There's the kick on its way. My word, this is going to be close. No, it's just that little bit short. There's the pack developing right in the centre. Pryor picks up the ball, hooks it around and puts it through. Goal number 3 to Jeffrey Pryor. That came as a result of determination.
Didn't it ever? He stuck on very, very well indeed. Not a bad kick for goal for an old fullback. Good effort, Jeffrey Pryor. There he is there. He looks at socks down stance, which is quite familiar from Pryor.
Essendon now 15-15. 105 points to Carlton, 29, 120. 29. My word, Essendon played a great first quarter, but their game fell away after that. There's Davis again in the thick of it, getting the tap from Mackenzie, sending the ball to Ellis. Ellis juggling. Oh, he takes a beautiful mark there. That was a difficult one to take. The ball was moving around disconcertingly, and he finally had to dive for it. Pryor's given him the lead, but he's ignored it. He's going to have a shot at goal. There it is, on its way. I think he's hooked it a little bit. He has. And it's through for yet another behind to the Dons. 15-16 now. 31 scoring shots Essendon have had to Carlton's 29. Now, that's an interesting situation.
Although I feel in the last few minutes, Ken, that Carlton seem to have relaxed slightly. They're not worrying too much.
Waite again. There's the kick in. Oh, it's a wobbly looking thing. Comes to Hopkins. Luckily, Hopkins towards the centre of the ground where Gosper is moving to the ball. Takes the mark for Essendon. Boots it forward up onto to Blethen, and Blethen gets a lovely ride on the back of Crane to take a spectacular mark. He's been fairly quiet today.
Very quiet, yes. He loves that ride from the back, though.
He could put it through from there too. He's usually a fairly reliable kick. Gets plenty of distance. There it is, on its way. It looks good to me. It is a lovely goal to the Dons. Again, a somewhat belated one for them, but that's Blethen's first for the match. And Essendon now move on to 16-16. Carlton at 29, and we're about 29 minutes, 30 minutes into the final quarter.
Yes, young Blethen hasn't had a very marvellous match. He started off on the wing and then had to go to full forward when Noonan was injured. Hardly got a kick at full forward. In fact, in the second quarter, I think he was kickless completely. And now he's out in the half-forward flank, so it's not the best of days.
Not long to go now in this final quarter. There's Mackenzie from behind, knocking the ball forward, but it's grabbed by Crane. Crane defensively drives the ball across where Greenwood's getting under it. Couldn't quite take the mark. Comes to it again. Is tackled by Hopkins and will get the free kick. Not in possession, said umpire Crouch. And Bob Greenwood will take the free. He's got a lead here further afield from Davis, and there's Davis flying for it a little bit too early, but recovers well. Lines up the goal. It's coming off the side of the boot. Jeffrey Pryor is manoeuvring, getting in front. The ball knocked away by Vin Waite. Comes out here where it's grabbed by Robertson. He runs into trouble, whips a hand pass to Hopkins. Hopkins is going to be brushed aside. No, he's not. He's going to say, I'm going to have this ball willy-nilly, and he gets one in the back and takes the free kick.
Yes, a very game effort for our little fellow.
His kick is high in the air towards the centre of the ground. There are plenty of Essendon players, and the mark is taken by Stevenson. He's been tireless, this bloke, all day long, and he's got a lead out here from Bob Greenwood, and Greenwood takes the mark. Has it midfield on the press box side. Not long to siren time with Carlton in front. 29 to 16-16. And a great performance by Carlton after half-time. There's the ball up to centre half forward, and what is the result?
Mark to close. Yes.
Fair enough. Close, within scoring range too, about 40 yards out. What's he kicked so far? 3-2. Could put this through. Could see Essendon's 17th goal on the board. Close, taking his time, just getting balanced. Head and weight right over the ball as he sends it on its way, and it's through right on the siren to end the game with Essendon posting their 17th goal. Essendon in the end finishing with 17-16 to Carlton 29. 118 points the Dons to 100.